So in hiring, there's a kind of bias called an in-group bias. And
What kind?
everybody understands what that is. We've talked about it a lot. And it basically says that, hey, if you're a lot like me, then I think that you have superpowers like me. And so how does this manifest itself? It manifests itself, I'm going to be overly stereotypical here, so I hope you'll forgive me. But you know, I'm a guy, I'm hiring, and Jim's, for let's say sales position, and Jim's applying, and Jim's like me, he went to Stanford, he golfs, I golf, therefore he's like me, he must be great at sales, so let's hire him for the sales position. That's in-group bias in a hiring scenario, right? Well, then you get to performance reviews. And there's a number of different biases that can be expressed in the context of performance reviews, but let's look at one of them, which is called confirmation bias, and you guys have probably all heard about that also. And confirmation bias basically says that, you know, you only pay attention to evidence that confirms what you already believe. And here's the thing, society teaches us all, you know, Carolyn, you said this in your opening remarks, it teaches us all to believe that leadership is a masculine, prototypically masculine trait. So even women and minorities will believe that you're more of a leader if you're a white man, right? That's confirmation bias. So how does this manifest itself with Jim? So Jim just got hired because he's like me, and now I'm getting ready to review Jim, and you know, there's been a complaint from a customer about Jim, and I say to myself, well, you know what? That's just a crazy customer, because that evidence does not confirm my belief, which is that Jim's a great person and also a superhero. And so now I've given Jim a great performance review. Boom, right? All right, so now we move on to the next step. And you can see a different kind of bias when you're looking at promotions. So there's a bias called the halo bias, or the halo effect. And you might not recognize the name of it, but we've all seen this happen, right? So the halo effect is, oh my God, you're awesome at this, you must be awesome at everything. And it generally only applies to men. And so the next step in the process is, okay, so Jim, I have told you all, I've proven that Jim is a fantastic salesperson because we ignore the evidence that he's not, and by the way, he's like me. And so I think he'd be great running head of sales for the entire company. Right? That's the halo effect. And suddenly Jim, who might not have even merited getting the job, is now the head of sales because of a series of biases that affect hiring and performance and promotion.